Lucas's list time. Very easy to make. And I don't have a bunch of shit teams and only playoff teams. Okay, we ready here? Starting from the bottom. Not even the second best team in the South, the Panthers. They suck in every way you can imagine. They don't give Rico Dowdle the ball enough. The Falcons are the best team in this division right now. I think Saints are the second best team in this division right now. The two teams that are fighting for it don't deserve it. Epic collapse by Tampa. And the Panthers, they have no business being here. Get out. Time to trim the fat. That's the Panthers. Next year. Thanks for the eyesore. Pittsburgh. Thanks a lot. I picked Pittsburgh to win that game against Baltimore. I was hoping that I'd be wrong. They get it done. Great. You got Mike Tomlin smacking his chest. It's like, yeah, the rookie missed a field goal, buddy. Like, get off it. Flat. So now we get to watch Pittsburgh in the playoffs. That's cool. I didn't want to watch Hall of Famer Derrick Henry or Hall of Famer Lamar Jackson. I didn't want to watch that. No. I wanted to watch old man Aaron Rodgers. That's the ball out in 0.1 seconds, throwing to a running back. And Dark Halen, Zacharias Metcalf, throw a tantrum.
Can't say
Why?
that.
Why?
You cannot.
Why?
Can't say that.
That's literally his name.
He's right behind you.
I would have noticed that. I would have noticed.
Lucas, he's right behind you.
You would have punched me in the head by now. So now we get to watch the Steelers instead of watching, I don't know, fun players. So that sucks. Thanks for the eyesore. Next, prove something. Chargers and Packers. Packers are the 7th seed every year. Kind of weird. Like, you'd think that with LaFleur and with Love, they'd be a bit better than that. Nope. I get they've been injured in and out. Love as well. He's injured like every season, quite a bit. It's not great. Chargers. Come on. You're only 3.5-point dogs to the 2 seed. And you are the more veteran player in this game. Prove something. Play well. Even if you don't win, at least go in there, try to knock their lights out. Don't turn the ball over a shit ton. Play well, Herbert. Prove something. Packers, don't get knocked out in the first round. Prove something. Next year. Not Super Bowl offenses. Broncos and the Eagles. No one believes in Bo Nix. He's been bottom 10 quarterback probably all year. He's good in the fourth quarter, but I mean, that's not enough. Get to a Super Bowl. I don't like the run game. Philly, talked about it the whole podcast. This offense is rough, even though they have all the personnel. Coaching is so bad, it brings everyone down, which drives me unbelievably insane, because I think if they still just had Kellen Moore, they would be the Super Bowl favorite, at least mine. So that's infuriating. Neither of these teams, to me, can put together enough good games offensively to make it or win a Super Bowl. Next, not Super Bowl defenses. Bears and the Niners. Same shit. Niners beat up to death. Like, they don't have the personnel. Fred Warner's not coming back. They were kind of hoping. I don't know. The reporting was a bit weird. Not going to be there. This defense is not great. I like Commodore Lenore, but that's not enough. No Bosa, no Fred. Bears, they feast off takeaways. If they don't have those, then they give up a ton of yards. They'll give up a ton of points. I don't think either of these teams are there this year defensively. Next year, don't want to fight. Texans and Bills. For Bills, it's really simple. They employ Josh Allen. You don't want to see that guy. He is actually the 3rd oldest quarterback in this playoffs. Stafford, Rodgers, then you got Josh Allen. He should beat the Jaguars. He should beat any team he comes across. Nothing should stand in his way to win a Super Bowl. Texans, that defense, we talked about it. They're disgusting. They're awesome to watch. They have players at every level of that defense. Helps when you haven't paid Stroud yet. It's just, they're absolutely filthy. They're going to hurt you, and they're going to kill some of your players. You're going to have to try and overcome it if you're going to beat them. Next, first round practice, Rams. They get the Panthers, who don't belong. This is almost better than a bye week. They get to stay sharp, get to get in the end zone, try out a couple things. Ooh, does this work? We're still dancing around, testing things out. Why not? Beat the crap out of the Panthers, show everyone why you are legit, and just, what more is there to say? Luka, Devontae, Tyron, Corum. And that defense for the Rams, they need to show something too, because as of late, unimpressive, especially in the secondary. Top of the tiers, least weaknesses. Pats, Jags, I know, and Seattle. The Jags have just been red hot. I don't know what to do with them. They're on a, 8-game, 9-game win streak, something crazy. Trevor's been playing out of his mind, maybe the best player in football over the past 5-6 weeks. I think he has 19 touchdowns, 1 turnover. It's not even a pick; it's a fumble. Travis Etienne's been a killer. Parker Washington has come on as of late, so they've got 3 legit weapons. They're getting Brenton Strange involved at tight end. Like, they're just nasty. Best rush defense in the league. They have a bunch of unsung heroes on that defense. So Jags, super well-rounded. Can't really point to a weakness. Patriots, same thing, other than they're just too young. Defense probably a bit overrated. And probably the offense, too. Their schedule's been definitely super easy, but I think the offense is better than their defense is. And Seattle, their only weakness, Seattle, is they do not trust Sam Darnold. We don't, and they don't. You can see they baby him in big games, in every game since the first Rams game. Seems like they don't throw downfield anymore. They don't trust him. They're constantly running the ball. Kenneth Walker gets him down the field, sub him out, get a touchdown to Charbonnet, the old classic. But Seattle's defense is absolutely filthy. Their weapons are really good. It's really just Sam Darnold. These 3 teams have the least weaknesses in the NFL, and that is the wildcard weekend tier list. Ray, what are you looking at here? What don't you like?
I don't agree that the Jags and Seahawks have the least weaknesses. I would definitely say, in terms of important, strengths and weaknesses, I would rank the Rams above both of them in terms of, what these teams can do well and what's important. You just said it yourself. The Seahawks don't seem to trust Sam Darnold, which is crazy for a team that wins as much as they do. But it's true. They baby him a little bit, and it's kind of sad to see because it happened with the Vikings a little bit too. You kind of were like, oh, he's winning games, but they seem very, concerned about to give him into the offense.
They trusted him a lot. They were still trying to throw deep balls with him, and he wouldn't uncork it.
But that's the thing, right? Is that I think
there's a reason why they don't trust him.
The weakness lies in their trust in Sam Darnold and also their ability to figure out a way to push the ball downfield when the other team is doubling and even sometimes tripling JSN. You can take JSN out of this game, which, don't get me wrong, it is insanely hard. You are not going to do that just by shadowing him with your best corner. He is going to beat him. But if you have a good game plan to stop JSN, this team will struggle moving the ball through the air, and that will make them struggle moving the ball through the ground as well. They work off each other, So I don't have a lot of faith in the Seattle Seahawks offense when it comes to playing good defenses that are now left in the playoffs. Besides, a few teams like the Niners and the Bears don't have the great defense. The rest of these teams have really strong defenses, and I think it'll be tough for them. We're going to see, we're going to have to see Sam Darnold do something very great for them to win football games and go down the line in the playoffs. The Jags, the run defense is great. The pass defense isn't. And also, there's 2 stories of Trevor Lawrence. He's played really well in the tail half of the season, but we've also seen him throw 4 picks in a playoff game, even though they won that game. We've seen him not play the best under the lights.
What did he do in the second half?
Yeah. He don't get me wrong.
Greatest comeback of all time in the playoffs.
Trevor Lawrence has some of the most talent, elite talent in this league, but this is a team that lacks experience, and the pass defense does not reflect the run defense. I understand it helps, but even then, these guys gave up like 33 points to Davis Mills, and the Texans beat them. That the team is not foolproof on the defensive side, and they're lacking some of that experience. So I don't have full faith in them like I would over the Rams too. I know you're not saying that you like the Jags and Seahawks to win the Super Bowl over the Rams, but I wouldn't label them as a team that has less weaknesses. I would honestly go as far as saying that the only weakness that the Texans have is a mediocre O-line. Other than that, quarterback's great. Defense is arguably the best. Weapons are great. I love CJ Stroud. I think he's a good. The weapons are great, man. Come on, Dalton Schultz, Nico Collins, Higgins. Woody Marks.
When we're talking, well, yeah, I mean, Woody Marks, what are we doing, right?
Woody Marks is great, man. If it wasn't
Good.
for
He's
if it wasn't
been a
for
feisty guy,
if
but
it wasn't for the busted O line, we would be talking about him a lot different, you know. And then I would go as far as saying the Broncos are another team that not Super Bowl offenses. I don't completely agree. They're not the best offense, but they find a way to put points up. And when you have an elite defense, you don't need to be blowing teams out of the water. I think Sean Payton's a great coach, and he has a great idea of how to utilize all the players on his team. Bo Nix has fighting spirit, like you said. In the fourth quarter, he's at his best. If there's a close game, I would trust him late game in a close one to pull it out.
Depends who they're against. Because we saw they got absolutely shredded by the Jags, like torn up. And their late game, he throws a pick. Like there's nothing. It wasn't like an outrageously bad one. It was kind of a 50-50 ball. Sure, fine, whatever. But also their run game is really nothing special. So it's a lot of that's going to be on Bo Nix.
Again, they don't live through the run, but I don't think it's a poor run game. And I also do think RJ Harvey is a very solid player. It would be a good run game if they still had J.K. Dobbins, because they could work off each other very well.
They're a lot better, yeah.
They could work off each other very well, and RJ Harvey's talents isn't really that of a, bell cow guy who's going to touch it 20 times a game and run it up the gut a ton. They don't really have that power back, but they still move the ball very confidently through the air and on the ground. So I like the Broncos too. I don't think they have a lot of glaring weaknesses, and they have an O-line that's better than the Texans. So
better. Bill?
All right, I'm going to go bottom to top. And first of all, I think you're disrespecting the shit out of the Panthers. I know they lost a couple games getting into the playoffs, but they won enough divisional games to be here. So, you can't call them the third best team in the South.
Yeah. No,
the other team's enough to be there.
Fourth best team, even.
From a Bucks fan, I can confidently say that the Panthers were the best team throughout the season in the division. The Saints,
throughout the season, I agree, but not right now.
The Saints with Tyler Shuck, okay, now we're cooking. That team's kind of cheeky.
We're saying throughout the season, no problem. Panthers have been the best of the worst throughout the season, but right now, I think they're the worst.
Yeah, they definitely limped into the playoffs.
They lost a must-win. They lucked out because of strength of schedule BS. They were terrible in the must-win. Terrible.
Again, as a Bucks fan, they did get burned by the officials in that game too.
I know, but even if they did, I saw everyone complaining about that, which is true, they did. But they got nothing. I picked them to win that game, and I was watching that what was I thinking? They're so bad.
They kind of have this thing, and it was, it's a Canales thing. It's kind of been Bryce Young's whole thing is they kind of baby him too. It's like they don't let him make mistakes. They just want him to play completely mistake-free, and that's fine. But
I don't trust him either. Anyway, okay, that's enough Panthers coverage.
All right, I'm moving on. I like where you have the Steelers. Prove something, though. I feel like the Packers have proven year after year that they win weird playoff games that they shouldn't. So I don't think they should be on the same level as the Chargers, who
that's not true.
Fail in the playoffs.
Well, Packers only won one game, though.
They beat the Cowboys, and then did they not win another one since then?
No.
Damn, dude, it's I'm scared. They're imprinted in my brain, just winning playoff games.
Yeah. I think it's imprinted in everyone's brain. But Love was terrible in the playoffs last year. He threw 3 picks that went under the radar because Herbert was way worse, and there was someone else, another quarterback that was way worse. But he threw 3 picks, and they got shredded by Philly.
They have one playoff win with Jordan Love. That's it.
That's it.
All right, I rescind the comment.
Thank you.
Not Super Bowl offenses, I don't mind it. Rain, I see what you're saying about Bo Nix, but at the same time, I feel like in the playoffs it's going to be harder to come back. And that might be bullshit, but I just feel like teams are going to play harder. And they're not going to take their foot off the gas when they get up 20. Next tier, I like it. I have a problem with the top. Big problem with the top. Least weaknesses. I feel like the Jags' weakness is just lack of playoff success besides that one time. And Seattle has a person who you've called a pumpkin for the last 10 weeks. So how could you
He's a
now
pumpkin.
say that they have the least weaknesses when for like a month straight you were like, oh, and Sam Darnold, of course, he sprouted into a pumpkin whenever.
Yeah, I'm really worried about him sprouting.
Least weaknesses.
Because hey, that's only one weakness.
That's
He's a
the biggest,
pumpkin.
that's like the biggest thing.
Oh yeah, that's a quarterback is a huge thing, but they just he didn't do anything against the Niners. They won that game easily, you know. And Niners defense sucks. Like he's the weakness, but they ran it and called it a day. Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker absolutely cooked them. Like I would pick Seattle against most of these playoff teams in the NFC. I give Eagles a tiny chance, and I would pick the Rams flat out. But other than that, their roster is so good. The way they've constructed this defense, they don't take their corners off the field. They do not fear run game. They're like, we're going to stop the run with our personnel. We're never getting our big people in here. We do not care. So you can't throw it on first down, second down. It's always the same guys there. So they're just, I love the coaching. McDonald is like the Shanahan of the defensive head coach. Like he is just so on it, and he's hard carrying. And if Darnold just makes a couple plays a game, which he does, they win.
It's still like a big thing.
It's a huge thing, but I mean, I can't move him down.
No,
First,
necessarily. Yeah.
they're not even playing this weekend. That's how good they've been.
I'm still scratching my head at how Baker Mayfield put up 38 points against the Seahawks defense without Evans or Godwin. Like,
Well, the Buccaneers slide, their collapse needs to be studied. But
it's called Todd Bowles needs to be worse than fired. He needs to be like banned from the NFL. And he deserves to just go back to Arizona and coach the Cardinals. Which is like the worst punishment you could ever have.
The last thing I'll say real quick is Pats, Jags, Seattle. None of these teams are my Super Bowl pick. They are just the most well-rounded teams. Like Rams secondary is so bad that I have to drop them. To me, they're making the Super Bowl. I love what they do. The Bills, their run defense is terrible, and they're missing a wide receiver. You know, they just have like one extra weakness. Like that's it. I still think Bills Rams are going to meet in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think they'll overcome the weaknesses. I'm just showing respect to what these teams have done.